Howdy y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Modded Minecraft. We're over here in our test world today to start. How's everybody doing today? I have got like no hair left on my head. I've pulled it pretty much all out messing with this stuff right here. Now I'm really glad actually that I went and did this in a, hold on, gotta move my headphones, ear itch. Much better. I started making these things. I was going to do this in survival, and man, I'm glad I didn't, because what a pain in the ass this has been figuring this out. Like most people, you know, I'm doing something new. I'm going to go to YouTube and try to figure it out, see what's what. Well, most of the videos for this are about a year old, and they don't take into account for channels. So if you don't use an ME controller, this is what you end up right here. This is the max, and but the best you're going to get is about 60% efficiency, and you're looking at about 37 million RF to store your stuff. Now, for most people, 37 million RF isn't that big of a deal. You can do that pretty quickly. But if you use an ME controller, and then we run some dense cable, so this is the better version. This is 100% efficient. What I did is I ran some ME cable, and it's fine doing this like right here because the spatial storage is not going to store anything that's on the level of the bottom of the pylon, this bottom block, and it's not going to pull anything from the top block level. So it's only going to be from the one below the top to the one above the bottom. Does that make sense? So this ground, we don't have to worry about it taken because it's part of it. So pretty much everything from these iron construction blocks to the bottom of the iron construction blocks up there will be put into storage. So when I finally got all that figured out, I was like, cool. That's great. That's what I wanted. The idea that I had was I was going to take all the farms that we had, give them their own individual storage unit, set them up, send them off into storage with a chunk loader, and let them do their thing. Okay, and that's when I pulled out the rest of my hair. The first half of my hair all came out when I was trying to figure all this stuff out. The second half came out when I set up a farm. So I said, all right, man, we'll set up a MFR harvester, and then we'll slap a tesseract next to it to power it while it's there, because it's interdimensional. That's cool. And then we'll just throw a pipe on the ground. We'll take a pipe and put it right there, and then we'll slap it. Ender chest next to it, good, and then we'll send it off and let it do its farming thing. And why you not working? What happened? Really? It's not going to do it? Okay, it does require those stupid cells. You got to have cells in here, I think. It doesn't want to do it without these energy cells. So now it should do it. Okay, so now you see something missing here? Took the harvester, it didn't take the tesseract or anything else. So now our harvester's off there lonely in the nothingness. And yeah, that's not going to work for me. The Ender IO farmer. So let's say, okay, that doesn't work. We'll use the Ender IO farmer. We'll put it down instead of the harvester. We'll use that. We'll stick it in there, and that'll take care of our crops for us. We'll send that. Nope. Denied. No, it doesn't go either. It's kind of annoying. Not even kind of. It's very annoying. So I don't even know. I mean, there is a workaround, because you can actually go into your age, or not your age. This isn't an age, but you can go into your storage cell, basically. I mean, you can go in there, make sure you have a way back. Oh, hold on. Put that there. Make sure you have a way back, because once you go, there's no way back. So you can go into it, and you can place machines, chunk loaders, that sort of stuff. Now again, they're not coming back. They'll be here. They're not coming back with the other stuff, even when you bring it back. Those things do not transport. Whew. Thought I lost that sucker for a second. You need to have a Mistcraft book or a portal or something, some way to get back. So you can like set up a farm in this world. You can even build in that world for most things, and they'll come back. But it just seems like most of the machines don't. So if you can, this is 100% efficient right here. I think it's two of these spatial pylons too much, but just for symmetry, I left it each of the pylons the same height. I just want one too shorter than the rest, but this is 100% efficient, and it's a 9x9, and I'm going to keep throwing stuff in here until I can figure out, because I still want to do the farms like that. I think it would be neat to have a spot in the base, so we don't have to, actually have a farming area, to be able to just pull our farms in as we need to deal with them, or not, just have them off in their own little thing where they're not causing lag or anything. Not a main. So I'm going to figure out what will work in here and if this will even work for us, and then I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, I have been doing just throwing everything I can think of in here, and from what I can tell, almost any normal block, just doesn't matter what the mod, like this is Mariculture bordered limestone. This is a generator for Mariculture. From what I can tell, no item from any mod that generates, transfers, creates power is able to go. That's a big problem. Block's gone, generator stays. That's a complete suck. Now, most of red power stuff will not go at all. None of it. None of the logic circuits, nothing. But then if we go down here to extra utilities, and we slap down a couple of these pipes, and then we take an ender generator from the same mod, and slap that sucker down. The pipes go, the generator stays. I just want to rant and rave right now. Some of these mods have such potential to be very, very cool. ME is very cool, don't get me wrong. It's a very, very cool mod. And then they come up with this very neat spatial thing. I never messed with this before. And this has potential to be pretty damn cool, put some farm stuff in there, but no, I can't transfer power. Doesn't take tesseracts. It doesn't take anything for draconic evolution. Nothing. So that's a problem. It really limits what you can do with these. I mean, you've already got, if you want to store a bunch of blocks, well, hell, you can already do that in your ME storage drives. Why do you want to store it? Who wants to put up all these pylons to put a building? If I'm going to put all that crap up, I'll just put the building there. It's going to be, I don't get it. Very, very frustrated at the moment with this. I'm not saying it's impossible. Certain things will go. ME, of course, goes. Redneck cable goes. That gives you redstone option. Regular redstone will go. I think, will furnaces go? Let's try a couple of furnaces. I haven't messed with those. I was really looking at power options, so I don't want 64 of those. I don't think that one will go. I think I already tried that. Let's try a higher tier engine. So we'll say a redstone furnace, and then the calculator generator won't go. We'll try a regular furnace. Keep plugging away at this. Maybe we'll get lucky. Where the hell those pipes come from? Oh, forgot to bring them back. Okay. Well, regular furnace will go. Well. Oh, that's not making me happy at all. Get rid of that pipe. Excuse me. Well, this really makes this a challenge. I don't know whether to be angry enough to rise to that challenge and do something, or just say screw all this crap and I'm not messing with it. But I don't know. I'm going to keep plugging away and see if there's something we can do with it. If not, this is going to be the shortest episode ever. Be right back. Alrighty, we're back on the survival server. And I was just putting some stuff away. Just got done building our spatial storage kind of room. And what I went with, you know, eventually, or primarily what I was going to do is going to build a kind of a big area here for it. And so it'd be kind of a centerpiece so that, you know, that we would use anytime we wanted to visit the farms. But now that we know that most items really won't transfer, I went ahead and built it back over here. And I did a 16 by 16 by 10. I think they're actually 12 tall, these pylons, but since it won't take the top and the bottom, it's going to be 10. So it should be 16 by 16 by 10. And I've got a little button rigged up right here, so we can transport ourselves in there for the very first time. Because what I decided I'm going to do is I'm giving myself plenty of room to work. Excuse me. And what I'm going to do is do like the primary build out, because we can't place once we're in there, like the floor will be like black, it's just void, you can't place in there, so you kind of have to place here first. So I'm going to give myself a base to work off of, and then we'll transport it into a cell. I don't have any cells made up just yet, but we'll transport in there and we'll set it up, and then we'll figure out some sort of transport system back. Haven't decided if I'm going to use enhanced portals or the RF teleporters just yet. Kind of leaning towards the teleporters a little bit more than the enhanced portals, just because I haven't really used them. And the enhanced portals, you know, they're kind of big and bulky, whereas the teleporters are just, you know, two little round disc things and some power and a dialing device. So, you know, of course we could just use the in the charm of dislocation, but that's no fun. We got to set something up. Now the reason I put it way down here is really once we set up the farms in their little drives, we really won't want to bring them back. So there's no point in having this as a main location, something that we're going to see and visit all the time. So this way, it's here, and we can utilize it if we need to build a new structure, farm, whatever. You know, honestly, I would have probably put that power generation in one of these if I had thought about it beforehand instead of digging off those new rooms. But this is cool. I mean, this gives us something to work for in the future. So I'm not going to try to do that this episode, but I did want y'all to see kind of the completed room. Prior to, this is 100% efficient, and it's going to cost us almost 8 million RF to activate it, which, you know, isn't bad at all. We've got, I think, almost 9. It's what, 3.2 million per cell. There's 3 cells here, so yeah, we're pretty good. And this fills up real fast. Also, this is coming out of the conic elemental core, so there's plenty of power to fuel that, so no problems. So I'm just going to leave it bare bones. I'm not going to try to fancy it up. I was planning on doing a real cool floor and walls and all that, but since we're really not going to use this room more than to give us a base and go off into the other dimension, I was like, screw it. I'm not going to mess with it. And so that's where it's at. And this has been kind of a learning experience messing with these spatial drives. I hope this has helped some people out. My pain and my misery, I hope it has helped you before you start messing with it. Just remember, you need to use the dense cable. You do need an ME controller. Each one of these pylons is a channel. Like right now, you can see we're using 22 of 32. Your I/O port counts as a channel. This counts as a channel, and each one of these pylons counts as a channel. So you can't just use... really, the easiest way to do this is with the dense cable. This is probably the most dense cable I've used in a build at all. So that's our spatial kind of drive area. This is the input-output area for our spatial drives. The spatial drives, kind of think of it as a little pocket dimension, that literally pocket dimension, because once this is put into a drive, you can throw that in your pocket, you can throw it in your ME system, and it's just there. And if you need to access it for whatever reason, you can bring it back. If you have a farm that doesn't have, I can't remember what it is. I saw or read a video. I can't remember what it was. I think it's entities or a tile entity or something like that that is not allowed in. But basically anything that kind of produces power. You can do power across dimensions. Again, referring back to Echo the Builder, he did one of these, and he brought power in by a P2P power tunnel with the ME system. So that's always an option. You can always bring power in that way. I think I'll just probably use Tesseracts if they work, but we'll find out next episode. So I hope this again helped anybody out, and I'm going to sit here and gesture with my hands since you guys can obviously see that. And I want to say I appreciate each one of you guys coming by and seeing what I'm doing, and I hope you appreciate it. And for those of you who have not subscribed, really that is the best way to find out when I put out a video. Now my schedule right now is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, not a certain time, just when I can get to it during the day. But I won't always promise that. If things come up and I'm unable to do it, then of course you won't see it. So really the best way is to subscribe. And don't forget to share it. Put it out there. Link it around. Let your if you know any other Minecrafters, let them know. So again, guys, until next time, I will see y'all later.